When it goes on Proverbs chapter 17, reading from verse 19 to 28. Verse 19, he who loves transgression loves strife. He who raises his door and makes his door seeks destruction. He who has a crooked mind or heart finds no good, and he who is perverted or dishonest in his language falls into evil. And so just a reminder how there's a progression from the heart to what we say and to eventually what we do and what we build. As it says there, his language falls into evil. Proverbs 10:31, the mouth of the righteous brings forth wisdom, but the perverse tongue will be cut off. And then just regarding the building, there's a cross-reference in Jeremiah 22. Woe to him who builds his house by unrighteousness and his upper rooms by injustice, makes his neighbor serve him for nothing, and does not give his wages. Who says, I will build myself a great house with spacious upper rooms, who cuts out windows for it, paneling it with cedar and painting it with bdellium. Do you think you are a king because you compete in cedar? Did your father eat and drink and do justice and righteousness? Then it was well with him. So just it'll go well when we build with God's obedience, not with sin. So he who loves, going back to verse 19, loves transgression or sin, and he who raises his door seeks destruction. Going on to verse 21, he who sires or fathers a fool does so to his sorrow, and the father of a fool has no joy. And so just many of these verses are just saying of the grief a foolish son will bring to his parents. Verse 22, a joyful heart is good medicine, but a broken spirit dries up bones. Proverbs 15:30, good news refreshes the bones. Proverbs 14:30, a tranquil heart gives life to the flesh, but envy makes the bones rot. And so things like unforgiveness, envy, worry, they all cause sickness. But a cheerful heart, like if you go to a doctor and he's got good news and he's cheerful and he's happy about your prognosis, you always leave there feeling refreshed and glad, and it does something to the body when we have that good news. Verse 23, a wicked man receives a bribe from the bosom, that's in secret, he keeps it in secret, to pervert the ways of justice. And so a righteous man will never receive a bribe. 24, wisdom is in the presence of the one who has understanding, but the eyes of the fools are on the ends of the earth. And so the eyes of the fools, they're roaming the ends of the earth. They're more earthly minded. They're worried about building businesses here, building their paneled houses, whereas the spiritually minded person is the one who's concerned about God's ways, and he has wisdom. Verse 25, a foolish son is a grief to his father and bitterness to her who bore him. Just another one of just similar to verse 21, bringing sorrow to a father. And so just another one that's just explaining how a foolish son will bring a lot of sorrow to his parents. Proverbs 17 verse 26 says, it is also not good to find the righteous, nor to strike the noble for their uprightness. And so just like a fool will rightly be punished for his actions, but it's not right to punish a righteous person. If you think of how Paul and Jesus and the disciples often get punished, they got locked up in prison for doing something right, and that's not good. And so there's two sides of this story. Verse 27, he who restrains his words has knowledge. He who has a cool spirit or a calm spirit, cool and not hot-tempered, he restrains himself as a man of understanding. So someone who takes those thoughts captive. Verse 28, even a fool, when he keeps silent, is considered wise, when he closes his lips, he is considered prudent, because even a fool, if he doesn't say anything, you can't judge him on his words. And so always hold your tongue, be slow to speak, quick to listen. Proverbs 10:19, when words are many, transgressions is not lacking, but whoever restrains his lips is prudent. Proverbs 29:20, do you see a man who is hasty in his words? There's more hope for a fool than for him. And so just a couple of reminders to keep your thoughts captive and restrain your tongue.